We are in the middle of the Castilian plateau. These stages are psychologically tough to walk, but remember that the Camino is not just the route, nor is it even the most important thing. The Camino is its people, its villages, and of course, yours pilgrims. In this video, I'm going to show you two stages, from here in Frómista to Carrión, and from Carrión to Calzadilla de la Cueza. Let's get started. We begin the first stage by leaving Frómista on a footpath next to the road. And this is what we'll have all day, a path parallel to the road for the almost 19 kilometers that remain until Carrión. As always, we must pay attention to the sun and the heat in summer. For once, it is not necessary to carry a lot of water, as there are enough places to stock up until Carrión. Several towns break up the monotony. The first is Población de Campos, 3.5 kilometers from Frómista. Here, the hermitages of San Miguel and Nuestra Señora del Socorro stand out as monuments. At the exit, we have two options. We can continue on the left, crossing the bridge and following the road, or we can continue towards Villovieco. Both are well signposted. This option is half a kilometer longer, but it has the advantage of offering more shade and breaking up the monotony of the walk. The choice is yours. Continuing along the trail, the next town, less than 4 kilometers away, is Revenga de Campos. After passing through this village, in just 2 kilometers we reach the next one, Villarmentero de Campos, where the two Jacobean routes join. The next town is Villalcázar de Sirga. It has several shelters for pilgrims, as it is also usually the end of a stage. Here we must visit the church of Santa María la Blanca. It is a 13th century fortress church, one of the authentic witnesses of the Order of the Knights Templar. Inside we will see the image of the Virgin to whom King Alfonso X, the Wise, dedicated several of his songs to Santa María. Pablo Payo was an innkeeper here, and this sculpture is dedicated to him. In the 1980s, when the Camino de Santiago was emerging from its long slumber, people like Pablo Payo threw themselves into helping those first pilgrims. If you stay here, the town has another point of interest, the Palomar Interpretation Center. From Villalcázar, we take the long straight road that leads to Carrión de los Condes. It is 5.5 kilometers to the historic center. If we end the stage here in Carrión, we will have enough time to visit its main monument, the monastery of San Zoilo. Incidentally, if we enter through the door that leads to the Camino de Santiago, we will find the Jacobean Library, the place with the most magazines and books about the Camino de Santiago. It is a popular place for researchers of the Camino de Santiago. Other highlights in Carrión include the Church of Santa Clara, the first church in the world dedicated to this saint, built in the 13th century. And of course, the old Church of Santiago, which is behind me, with its facade, a masterpiece of Romanesque sculpture, with its frieze and archivolt. We begin the second stage between Carrión and Calzadilla. This is perhaps the most famous stretch of the Camino de Santiago. It is 17 kilometers with little shade, no alternatives, and no services. The straight road is a historically traveled route, as it is part of the Roman road that linked Bordeaux with Astorga. This ancient route partially coincides with the Camino de Santiago, between the Navarra section to Pamplona, and then again from Burgos. Here we are lucky that the roads have been rerouted and the Roman road has been preserved under our feet. The straight stretch is tough with hardly any rest areas. During the busy pilgrimage season, a few street vendors set up shop here and there. As happened in Hontanas, we came upon Calzadilla almost as soon as we entered it, because it is located in a hollow. We arrive at Calzadilla de la Cueza, the end of these two stages. This is Tierra de Campos, the area of the Camino de Santiago that most helps us to meditate and rethink our lives. Now it's time to rest and visit this village. As for the cuisine, I recommend the suckling lamb and the different varieties of garlic soup in this area. Enjoy your meal and buen camino.